Now, this is going to sound really depressing, but in my experience, like, you just can't find a girlfriend. And, like, if you're wondering why you can't find a girlfriend, it's because it's not even necessarily because you're unattractive, I guess. Like, that's why, but, like, that's not really the whole story, you know? Like, that's most of it, but a lot of it is, like, cultural now, though. Like, you're not, like, these women have really high standards, you know? So you might be like, you might even look normal, you know? Like I know of some YouTubers who consider themselves really ugly, but they looked normal, or they at least could have like uh, maxed out their looks or whatever, and they would have looked like pretty good. Probably, I can't really judge guys like the looks of other men very well. Like I don't really, I don't know. I'm not into guys, so I don't really know. But like you could tell, like they looked normal, you know, like for example, DBDR. Like that guy looked to me, he looked normal. Like he didn't look like below average, you know. He looked like normal or whatever. So, but he always talked about himself like he was like the lowest of the low, and it was just like terrible. But he was also in poverty, so yeah. I'm also in poverty. My mom isn't though. Like my parents are pretty well off. Like my mom's pretty well off. Like I don't really keep up with my dad that much. I don't really keep up with my dad, but like uh but my mom like she's well off. So I guess I have that going for me or whatever. Sorry, I'm fat as hell. But some of these other guys like what they don't get is that like some of us can't find a woman who we want to be with. Like, you know, we can't find like one. We can't even find one that we'd want to be with. And some guys, they just take what they can get. And I understand that. Like, if that's what you decide to do after like years of being rejected and you just find somebody, like, I can understand why you might be desperate enough to find somebody. But me, I just choose to stay single for the most part, except for like hooking up just to try to make something happen. That's the best I've done. But what some guys don't get because they've been successful or whatever for whatever reason, even if they're not attractive, like some of these guys like the Legion of Men guy, like that guy's not objectively very attractive. But he makes some money and he lives in a different country, so he's somewhat successful with women, I guess. At least that's what I'm led to assume. I don't really know his whole backstory, but like that guy's like average at best, you know, like that. Like he's. I'm not trying to insult him, but I guess I'm kind of insulting him. I don't really mean to, but like he doesn't look that great, but he has some success. So some of these guys who have had success with women, like at least in having a relationship, like you could say they're doing something right, but a lot of it's just like if you're not willing to move to move to another country besides America, or if you're in another Western country, moving to like an Eastern country, if you're not willing to do that, then it's pretty hard for most of us, like for most guys. And I could probably get a girlfriend if I wanted to. I just got a couple matches on Facebook dating, like on the dating app on Facebook, and I could probably like hook up with one of them, but I don't really want to do that. Like I just like like I don't know, like she's a little bit older than me. She's like overweight. She's probably a really nice person though. That's why I'm talking to her because maybe she's a really nice person and maybe we could go to the gym together or something. But she's like quite a bit older than me. She's like 44 and I'm 30. I'm almost 31. And so that's why I don't really want to get together with her because she's just too much older than me. Now, would I hook up with her? Shamefully, probably would, yeah. But yeah, just because you gotta get off. You gotta get off sometime. If you're not jerking off, you gotta find somebody. Which most of the time I'm just jerking off. So, and you might say, well, go abstinent or whatever. I have done that for a while. I've gone abstinent for a while, so I could do that again. I have enough self control that I can, you know, stop jerking off if I really need to. But at the same time, like I don't know, I'm kind of a high test guy or whatever, like high testosterone, like so. I'm always on the lookout for a woman to fuck most of the time. I'm always looking for somebody to fuck, some woman somewhere. So I'll talk to women in real life just because I'm like, yeah, I don't even care. I'll just shoot my shot or whatever the hell. But yeah, this Legion of Men guy, like, I don't know, he's successful because he moved to another country, basically. Like, he moved to like, Eastern Europe. Like, if he were still in America, he might find somebody, but it would be miserable. Like, I can't blame him for moving. And I just don't want to move. Like, I don't want to leave this country and go to a country where I don't know the language, etc. But I actually did learn Spanish, so I could move to Spain. Spain was pretty cool. I was there once for a while. So if I move to Spain, like I might have a better chance at finding a woman in Spain. Maybe it's still a Western country, but it's a little bit more. It's a little bit separate from the rest of the West because of the mountains. Not the Himalayas, the Pyrenees Mountains. Anyway, uh, yeah. So if I moved to Spain, I could. I know enough of the language that I could get by. I could probably teach Spanish there too. I just can't really leave because of my mental health disorder. So it's just kind of a pain. I'd have to like leave secretly. I don't think I'm gonna do that. So yeah, I don't know. I just don't want to leave the country. I just because I don't know. I grew up here, even though I don't know. It's not a terrible thought. Like maybe I could find if I could find a wife there and have a good family, then it might be worth it. But I just don't see it as an option for me because of my mental health disorder. Like nobody's gonna let me leave. You know. So yeah. Anyway, though, yeah, what the Legion of Men guy doesn't get is that a lot of us, not just him, but a lot of people, like they don't get that like we can't like find women, unless they're women that we don't want. At least in my case, like some guys can't find any women at all, according to them. Like there's this one guy. His channel is called "We Live in Hell." He says he can't find any women, and it's like I don't get that. I do get that it's hard, but like I can almost always find one, if not on a dating app, then in real life. I got a lot of spit in my mouth right now. Sorry. Uh, anyway, yeah. Anyway, that's what some people don't get is that it's just impossible for some men to find women, and it's not good for society. Anyway, that's all I have to say.